You're listening to the Virtually Free Podcast, a place for all you digital nomads and freedom chasers out there. Get the real talk on what it's like to make a living online. Want to ditch the 9-to-5, vacation on your terms? Discover the ins and outs of freelancing? Then you're in the right place. And now your host, Amy Damone.
Welcome back to episode 15 of the Virtually Free Podcast with your host, me, Amy Damone. Welcome, everybody. I am so excited to be chatting with you today, and I want to be fully honest with you. I have recorded this episode 6 times, all under the topic of anxiety. And it's really funny because it's something I'm super passionate about. It's something I really want to talk about, and I know I will be talking about it at a later date. But every single solitary time I started talking about this, I got sidetracked into social media. And it did make sense at the time, but then I went off into this huge rant about Instagram and the way the world is going and like what it's like to be a digital marketer. And every single time, and I was like, you know what, screw it. I'm gonna record it one more time, and I'm gonna talk about this and only this. So, welcome to the new episode 15, where I'm going to talk about social media and my 2 cents on it. And if you like it, awesome. If you don't, cool. I can't make you like my things. So, this is going to be a bit of a rant. It's also going to be a bit of me fangirling over my man, Gary Vaynerchuk, because I'm obsessed with him. And it's going to be a little bit marketing. So hopefully you enjoy. So I've noticed in the last 3 to 6 months especially that there has been an enormous, is that a word? An extraordinary amount of beautifully curated Instagram photos and accounts popping up on my account. First of all, I thank the new algorithm. I know that's probably why I'm seeing a hell of a lot more than I did. But second is it leads me to really think about social media, how you're going to be able to stand out and how you're going to be able to really do what you are meant to do through your social media channels. And I say that because I do work in the coaching industry, but I know that there's like fitness influencers out there. I know there's like puppy influencers out there. There's like the entire gamut. There's so many influencers out there. So I don't want to say you're on social media to change the world, because not every one of you are, and I get it. You want to make money. It's cool. As long as that is your why and you are transparent about that, power to you. I'm all for that. So that's why I say that and not change the world. But let me rewind back. So I see so many beautifully curated Instagram accounts out there. I see my clients coming onto Instagram because they're like, oh man, I've put this off too long, and everyone in the world talks about how Instagram is going to be the next platform, which it is. If you're already on there, you're just not smart. But Instagram is literally just growing and growing and growing. In 2017, the ad revenue for Instagram alone hit over $1 billion. That's insane. They just started running ads and they already grossed $1 billion. Excuse me, brilliant. I wish I was Instagram. I wish I was everyone that invested in Facebook and Instagram, because I would be laughing right now to the bank. And I see this, and I see my new clients jump on, and they also are having these beautifully curated Instagram portfolios. And I completely get it, 100%. But I'm starting, and I also need to take a moment to say that I also like to think that I have a beautifully curated Instagram account. But as I've started upping my strategy in Instagram and started growing my following, I'm starting to realize that the way that I have approached it up until about a week ago was because I thought I had to approach it this way. And let me talk a little bit more about that. What I mean is when you and I and everyone else is on social media all the time, which I know you are, we are looking at these beautifully curated Instagram accounts. We are looking at these, these 25-year-old women in like these super trendy one-piece bathing suits with like a flower in their hair, a cocktail in their hand, saying, I make $1 million traveling the world. Don't you want to? Sign up to find out. Or like, I don't know, a fitness expert is standing there with their six-pack and they're like, eat clean, train mean, or whatever. That used to be really popular back in the day. I think that's pretty old school now. But do you know what I mean? Like, they are showing their best selves. And I get it. You're in an industry where perfect means money. Or so you think. I think the one thing that we're really, really not focusing on is the collapse of the industrial complex. And what I mean by that, if you don't know what the industrial complex is the facade or the appearance that everything is beautiful. So we are in an amazing time right now, guys. We live in 2018. There are so many self-made millionaires, billionaires out there, from, growing a fitness trend about being healthy and not skinny, to eating pizza and like ranking it, to making slime videos. These people are, maybe not millionaires, but they've got money. And with the collapse of the traditional ways to make $1 million and the innovation that has come in 2018 with social media, with email marketing, with basically being able to get your voice to reach outside of your immediate community or town or city or wherever you live, we are changing things. But you can tell through social media that a lot of our mindset is the same. So hopefully this is all making sense now. So if we are living in the mindset of 20 years ago, we are thinking the industrial complex, which is the idea that we need to have everything beautiful, perfect, without cracks, without this, is falling apart. So why are we still using marketing tactics? Why are we still making sure that no one sees our bad side? Why are we ensuring that all our faults and bruises and ghosts aren't being shown to the world? I mean, other than the fact that it's freaking scary AF to tell your audience that you just binge eat and you just binge ate for 24 hours. You had a really shitty week and you don't want to work out, and that's fine. But you're also $1 million fitness coach. And the reason that you don't want to share that comes down to, unfortunately, shame. And that's not okay. That is not okay that the industry that we have started to grow as I'm not a fitness influencer, obviously, but like everyone else is, the fitness influencer industry is massive. So, but that industry, as all of our industries, are meant to showcase only the perfect. But why? Why is that something that we are still falling trapped into? So the reason that this came up so much when I was talking about anxiety is because I'm really nervous of sharing my real life, my real back-end mental health issues with my audience, with my clients, because there's a stigma around it. So I'm not going to go too far into that because I am going to have another episode on mental health and entrepreneurship. But this is kind of how it tied into my original podcast interview. So I guess my biggest question, and kind of what I see in relation to social media, is why are we doing this? Why, if we know or we are looking forward to the future, because if you are a digital marketer, you can't just stay in the present. You've always got to anticipate what's happening. Why are we so obsessed with being perfect? And I'm not talking like post a beautiful curated photo of your pet and a pineapple and then write a post about how sad you are that the pineapple went rotten. Okay, cool. That is the weirdest thing I've ever heard. But I'm talking about showing a photo of you crying on the floor because you stubbed your toe. Or show me a video of you trying for 10 hours to get this algorithm right because you're dedicated to your clients, you're dedicated to, seeing growth for your business and your clients' business, and you're dedicated to just being an awesome human being that loves what they do. Show me that. Show me the trials and tribulations of entrepreneurship. Show me the not exciting, transportation that took you from Bangkok, Thailand down to Singapore. I've done that. That is not fun. It's night buses. It's, depending where you go on that route, it could be boats, it could be motorcycles, it could be like the back of a truck, it could be hitchhiking, it could be a train, it could be literally anything, and most likely there's pee on it. So why is no one showing us that? Why is no one showing us the real life that exists within our lives? Because the whole point of social media, other than in my opinion, outside of the monetary gain for influencers and like the top of the sales funnels, all that, outside of it, it's to showcase who you really are. Not who you think your niche client is supposed to be, not who you think your industry is going to accept, but who you are as a human being, as a business owner, and as a normal human being. I think I said human being twice. The point is, because there always has to be a point, is that I want to see more of your flaws. I want to see more of all the crap you have to go through. Because, girl, boy, whoever's listening to me, this is not the pinnacle of your career. Because what we don't realize is we are going to constantly, I hope to God anyways, if you're self-aware and care anything about your self-development, will constantly grow. This is not your be-all, end-all. And if it is, I am so sorry that you are so self-deluded that you think this is your end. Because it's not. You can improve a million times better. You can sell $100,000 more than you've already done. You can travel 18 more months than you've already done. You can quadruple the amount of people that are showing up to your Facebook lives. You could times it by 1,000 if you want. If you don't think that, if you think that this is your end, please, I beg of you, get some mindset shit done, because this is insane. But anyways, I'm getting off track. So, to tie this into Gary Vee, because I did mention him, he says something like this in one of his podcast interviews, and something inside my head just clicked, and I was like, damn, this is why I'm not doing well. This is why I'm struggling to get over 1,000 followers. This is why I can't sell my stuff. This is why whatever. Or why, it's not so much that I feel like I can't sell, but I will say this, it's as much as I don't feel like I can sell because there's something holding me back. Something is not right in my body. My physical being is saying, Amy, you've got this, but this is not how you do it. And I feel like one thing happens with a lot of people is that they get blinded by the money, they get blinded by the what ifs and the shoulds and the noise that is out there. And I'm just someone else contributing to the noise, but hopefully you see that my suggestions and my advice is genuine and not backed from the idea of profit. Because I do not believe that just because I make $1 million, which I will do, I'm telling you right here, listeners, that I will make that, doesn't mean that you, Jane, don't get to make $1 million. It doesn't mean that you, sir, Jose over there, don't get to build your fitness influencing company or fitness programs or whatever you want to do because I've got money and you don't. And to me, the reason that social media is as it is because we are in constant competition with each other. And the easiest thing for us to do would be to strip that competition, strip the facade that there's only so much money in the world, and strip the doubt that just because your friend makes $1 million or $1 billion or $20 doesn't mean you can't. And how do we do that? We do that by getting real, guys, because I'm sick and tired of seeing all these beautiful things. It makes me feel like crap. I am in the back end. So this is how the whole anxiety thing happened. I am in the end of a 3-week, not 1, not 2, 3-week anxiety attack. Do you know how terrifying that is? If you have mental health issues, you know. If you don't have mental health issues, you know. 3 weeks of being in a constant heightened state of massive amount of cortisol being pumped through my body because I am at a high stress level is exhausting. And I'm not blaming anyone. I know it's 100% my doing. I did not manage my anxiety well the last little bit. I'm aware it's my fault. But why aren't we sharing this with the world? Why aren't we sharing that even though I have been through a 3-week anxiety attack, I have never felt better about my business than I do right now. I have never felt as good about my client relationships than I do right now. Because I know I'm growing. I know every single solitary event that is placed in front of me is for me to take it, attack it, crush it, as Gary Vee would say, and move forward from it. It's not to define me, at least in a bad way or in a good way. It's not to define me. It's not to derail me. It's not to shine light on all my insecurities, that I'm not enough, that I'm never going to make it, that I'm not loved. And it's not meant to make me feel bad. And that's what I feel like social media has become. And especially in the influencing space. And I'm not saying everyone. I know there are so many people being out there being authentic AF, and I love it, and I thank you, and I want to be your friend. And I also want to say that I'm at fault for this too. And this is why I'm so passionate about this, because it took me so long for me to realize, and I didn't even know this, that my second business has been based off a model that I think that needs to happen. I wasn't willing to look at my business and be like, what works for me? What's real for me? Well, I'm actually going to copy someone else. I'm going to use my own words. I'm going to use my own knowledge. I'm going to use my own integrity. But I'm going to look to see what other social media influencers, what other digital marketers, digital nomads, coaches, they're doing. And I'm going to do that. Because they're happy. They have money. It'll work for me. Wrong. I've literally just come full circle. Hopefully you guys can see that this is the world we live in. And really what I want all my babies out there in the world that I will never meet, and that I will meet, and that I will hug, and that I will laugh with, and I will drink with, and I will smoke with, and I will whatever with, sees that if you want to make it in this world, if you truly want to make it in this world, you need to be yourself. You need to be a trailblazer for your own personality. You need to remember that, unfortunately, who you are is your brand. It is not something you make up. It is not something that's fabricated. Every single molecule in your body makes up your brand, if you want to believe it or not. Especially if you are someone that is speaking. If you are the focal point, coaches, influencers, virtual assistants, marketers, I'm obviously just talking in my niche. I can't think of anything. Real estate agents, This is for you. You need to listen to this. You need to realize that those shitty things that are happening to you are going to be inspiration for other people. Because if I'm struggling with anxiety and someone else out there is 3 months into a business and they are experiencing what I am, and they see me or hear me or watch me and they say, shit, that girl, she can do it, so I can do it. That is what I want. I don't want them to look at my account and be like, oh, wow, I am so jealous. I want someone to look at my account and my brand and say, I'm inspired. I'm empowered. I'm ready to take the steps that I need to do in my own life to overcome X, Y, and Z. And that is where social media is failing in 2018, my friends. I hope you enjoyed my rant. I'm not even entirely sure this is going to make sense. I love you all.